The reason why we are seeing the price coming to as low as 2 naira 23 kobo yesterday. So it's really a very disturbing situation for the market. And for the first three results that are coming to the market, gains turning out like this is giving a lot of worry to investors. I don't want to believe that one or two results will come out and be able to turn things around.
If you look at Nigerian breweries, that's another disappointing a figure, almost 2 billion naira difference between first half 2014 and first half 2015 for these blue chip on the counter, as it were. Talk to us about investors' sentiments to these Nigerian breweries' negative half-year numbers that came in yesterday.
Well, we were expecting that they would turn a better figure than what they did in the first quarter. But I think all that waiting is not going to come, and at least in the short while. And the kind of change we have seen in their result is not really. We have seen an increase of about 10 billion in their turnover, and also almost an increase of about 10 billion in their cost of sales. So that means we don't have a corresponding change in their profit before tax, even as they have an increase in turnover. And I think investor sentiment today is definitely going to be negative. We were already expecting it to be this deep, but I think with the way it is, the investors are definitely going to at least treat it just the way it deserves.
Okay, putting this, let's take it from the market street to the fiscal street. Let's talk about the main street now, where everybody's blaming the fiscal environment. Inflation came in yesterday, higher 0.2%, 0.2%. We're blaming food, petrol scarcity, cost of transportation, consumer spending is slowing down, insurgency is coming back fast and furious from the northeast. How much damage do you think this basket of problems will hurt companies' earnings going further or going forward on the market?
Well, I believe these problems have always been with us, only that they are taking a very different turn. But for me, I believe that Nigerians have a very resilient environment, and we are always able to come out of a very difficult situation. And I think going forward, within maybe a space of about 3 to 6 months, we might begin to see things changing. But I want us to look at it in such a way that we allow about 4 or 5 more major results to come out. Then we'll do a comparison and see whether this and be able to test how bad the situation really is. But I think till then, I think we will need to have to cross our fingers. But I don't really expect anything extraordinary. But I want to believe that all of them shouldn't be turning out this kind of result. But for the banking sector, given what the CEO of Stanbic said, I think it's going to be a very tough time for them going forward because of new stringent regulatory framework that CBN is putting in place.
Okay, we wish you have a very interesting and perhaps more exciting, interesting trading day. Rotimi Fakaijo, thank you for your time this morning. Trader and CEO at Enterprise Capital. Now, coming next on the program, we review Nigeria's competitiveness in the face of tight fiscal regime in the first half of 2015. Nigeria's Mr. Competitiveness joins us on the line from Washington, D.C. Matthias Chikamodi is the CEO of Nigeria's Council, the Nigeria's Council on Competitiveness. That's the NCCN, Competitiveness Council of Nigeria. I beg your pardon, a little bit of acronyms there. And the agency responsible for monitoring and enhancing Nigeria's competitiveness as a country. You've seen Chika's biodata there on your TV screen. Join us after the break. We'll be back. We'll be reviewing Nigeria's competitiveness, but first let's look at the energy markets. One of the stories we're tracking this morning is one of Nigeria's commercial lenders, FCMB, has packaged $445 million in senior credit facility for Gas to improve the gas business in Nigeria, but that will flow into the gas business in the power sector. That event is taking place today. Almost $500,000 being put together, secured lending to help one of Nigeria's gas providers in the Niger Delta to get the business of gas supply to the power plants up and running better than it used to be. Part of the news. But let's track the energy stocks on our market for you. Quite a few of them. These are the major oil retailers and one exploration company. Let's start as usual from the top. That sector shared 0.08%. That's the slowest load shedding that we saw on the energy stocks since the beginning of the week. Forte Oil, as usual, kept its 180 naira per share shut yesterday, despite the market aggressive downside. The consumer and the industrial segments of the market on 55,078 units. That price remains unchanged now for 3 straight sessions. Mobil Oil skipping that figure a little bit changed, about 0.5% to the upside, 154.35, 127,000 units in 85. Look at MRS, flat as usual, less than 1,000 units of the share traded. Then you see Oando there, the big boy, volume ramping up very strongly, 4 million units, 4,010,000 units of that stock traded yesterday. That gave it a minus 4.94% on those sell-off at 13.27. Oando started yesterday's trading around 14.57, finished at 13.27. Total kept its price unchanged. Investors kept that unchanged at the closing bell, 158 on the back of 20,230 units, while Seplat also kept the price largely unchanged, but about 1.48%. If you look at the opening, midday, and the end of the day trading price, that's where we finished off, 38,897. And of course, corn oil unchanged at 40.85 on the back of 1,028 units of shares. Now, put it all together, and you have something that looks like what you see next. Thank you. Now the index return for that sector year to date is now 12.8% in the red. Price to earn is now trending downwards to 8.0 from 8.1% when we started. The 8.0, not a percentage, I beg your pardon, 8.0. That's not in percentage terms. Let me reverse that. Dividend yield at 3.2%. That's the dividend yield on average for the entire oil and gas index. So what's in the news in the energy sector? Nigerian government yesterday extended the contract for the Canadian company called Manitoba Hydro. Do you remember the controversies surrounding Manitoba? Now the Nigerian government, or the new government, has renewed the power company's contract with Nigeria by another 12 months. Manitoba will now facilitate the breakup of TCN, that's the transmission company of Nigeria. That's the agency responsible for transmitting power from the plants to the grid down to where you can get it via the power distributors. That's the transmission company. That will now be broken into two. We talked about this a few weeks ago. We'll get back to that story, why the breakup of the TCN is important. There are different sides to that story.